Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the panel discussion, and I would like to invite the dignitaries onto the dais. May I now invite the moderator for the session, Shri C. Balagopal, Chairman, KSIDC. The discussion would be on the topic, Unleashing Kerala Potential, Industry Leaders Talk. We have the moderator on the dais with us, Shri C. Balagopal, Chairman, KSIDC. I would like to invite the panelists onto the dais. May I invite Dr. James George, Chairman, Caron Healthcare Solutions, Dr. Sriraj Gopi, Co-founder, Molecules Biolabs Private Limited, Shri Firoz, Managing Director, Lividas Healthcare Private Limited, Dr. Manish Melankot, CEO, Trita Biotech Private Limited. And now over to the moderator, Shri C. Balagopal.
Good morning. 4 out of our 5 panelists are here. And the 5th, Rahul Maman, is unable to make it for some reason. So we'll, I think, since we have limited time and we are running a bit behind schedule, we'll jump straight into the program. So the theme of this panel discussion is Unleashing Kerala Potential, Industry Leaders Talk. Kerala's story in life sciences and healthcare has been quite an interesting one. For various historical reasons, Kerala has been ahead of the rest of the country in terms of the importance given to healthcare in the state budgets almost as soon after the state was formed in 1955. And that has actually set apart Kerala from all the other states in terms of the what has later come to be known as the Kerala model. Because not only was the state allocating more of its budget to healthcare, but it also allocated a substantial proportion of its budget to education and to social welfare. In other words, to all matters related to the human resource of the state. Now this is very interesting. This has, within the state, it has led to a lot of discussion and controversy about whether this will lead to Kerala missing the industry bus and whether this is a costly choice which is being made. But I think the balance of evidence is that Kerala did the right thing and focus on human resources, because unlike almost all the other states in the country which neglected human resources, Kerala, through its focus on education, healthcare, investment in public health and social welfare, saw that the human resource was given enough importance, and today that has become the biggest resource. So that's a big subject in itself. Here we have, we have 4 companies which have had an interesting track record and journey in the life sciences and medical products space. And they represent this spirit of Kerala, where businesses which started small grew organically and grew to both national and some even to global scale. So let's hear from them on real-world lessons in building globally relevant, value-driven enterprises from Kerala and what has been their experience and the learnings. So I will first start by asking Mr. George of Caron Healthcare, who are among the leaders in the country in personal protection equipment, which PPE was something which was not really known to most people in India until COVID hit. Now suddenly PPE, everybody knows what PPE is. And Mr. George's company, Caron, represents one of the leaders for making high quality PPE. So my question to you is, from your journey, what do you feel equips Kerala? What makes Kerala a good place to set up a healthcare business requiring special skills and special stress on cleanliness and other things? What has been your experience in what makes Kerala an ideal place for doing such a business?
Thank you very much. I think Kerala is an ideal place. You can see so many institutions, and so education as well as technology-wise, we are at par with any global companies, any global countries. So any sort of business, any sort of new investments in the areas where this more of technology and more of educated people record, Kerala will be an ideal place. And as far as the infrastructure and the government attitude towards industries in Kerala is entirely, maybe many people even ask me whether it's a good place to start a business. That was maybe many decades back. There were some issues regarding labor and all. Now it is all clear, and people are, and even government and all political parties are very much comfortable, and they are very much lenient to industries, and there is a very big potential. And only one thing that see that so many people from in Kerala is going out, going abroad. There is a lot of brain drainage. That is mainly because we don't have that much of units, manufacturing facilities here. I hope that all of these people are going abroad. Many of them are not happy because they are all second citizens there. So it is our duty, it is our very much basic duty for all Keralites as well as those who are connected to give more opportunities, to start more industries so that these people can come back and join with us for a great growth of the state and be at par with any global countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George. I would like to ask the same question to Dr. Sriraj Gopi, who runs a very different kind of venture, and I had the good fortune of visiting his excellent unit at the Koratti Infra Park recently. So, could you tell us something from your experience, because your experience has been very recent in terms of setting up your venture. It's been only 3 years old. So, what has been this experience? Why did you choose Kerala, and what has been your experience so far in the 3 years that you've launched Molecules Biolabs?
Thank you, sir. First of all, I am not a classical businessman. So I am a scientist and educated abroad in Europe and Australia. And then I wanted to take the technology into the business stream. So at that time, even though we started at Bangalore, we still have that facility in Bangalore, but we expanded in Kerala after COVID. The main reason is that I'm from Kerala, so basically I wanted to set up something very close to my home. And even though we started very small, and right now we have close to 50 scientists working in our office, in the lab. And basically we are into drug delivery systems, which turning into food supplements and nutraceutical, also into pharma industry. The main advantage of being in Kerala is that the kind of talent pool that we have, because as you rightly mentioned, Kerala invested heavily on educational infrastructure into academics. So half of me is an academician myself. So I know the advantage of being an academy in the academy, and translate that research into the mainstream industry is quite easy when you are in Kerala. We have so many universities, and when I say that, we do have universities everywhere, but Kerala universities, according to my experience, are more welcoming. And being in Kerala, that was relatively easy for me. And we still have academy industry collaborations. So when I say that, I'm not from a business family, so very normal. So when we start something very new, of course we don't have resources. So we could depend upon so many of these academic institutions to develop something very innovative. And we are actually a science-driven company, so it is very essential for us to have more talents, more space in the academic region, and that's what we grew. So we grew from ground zero, and in 3 years we are close to 100 CR, which wouldn't have been achieved if I were somewhere else. And that's my journey. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sriraj Gopi. Now I'll move on to another scientist, entrepreneur, Dr. Manish Mailankot of Trita Biotech. Could you are located, your unit is located in a rural area very near my home town of Kollam, a place called Klapana, somewhere near that. So tell us, what has been your experience building a science-based, knowledge-based enterprise in a small part of rural Kerala?
Hello, good morning everyone, and I hope you all are doing well. Okay, thank you, sir. And I was so happy that I was just waiting, sir will ask me the same question to me. Okay, so the same as Dr. Sridhar said, I'm not from a businessman. Yes, we had a small business, maybe with an annual turnover of few lakhs. So I was only up to that. So did my biochemistry PhD and all those things. So why Kerala? Kerala is the only state where I can do this in India. Because I might be able to do maybe better than this in Bangalore, Hyderabad, the cities. But Kerala is the only place where I can run this business in the village. I believe somewhere Balagavan sir has said that Kerala doesn't have villages. Because if you start from Kasaragod to Kanyakumari, it's all cities. That's very true. So I'll tell you my village, Klapana, which has got a university. The university ranked somewhere around, I believe, 6th or 7th in the NIF ranking, that is Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. And it's a fishing village. My company is surrounded by waters. And I'll tell you, whenever I have something to, we started working on AI now because everybody started talking about incorporating AI into business. It's wonderful. So I thought, let me also explore that. So I went to all those, the faculties in these universities. I found very difficult to convince them. I'll talk about it what is the challenges when Kerala is facing it. But the best part is the students of those universities. When I talk to them, I get answers immediately. And I told them, I asked a girl, who happened to be my elder son's friend. So I asked her, can you make a program in a couple of months' time? She said, I will make it tomorrow. And surprisingly, she came and gave me that program. So that's what I'm saying. The Kerala is the only state where villages has got, forget about cities, where villages has got so much of talent. And I'll tell you one more thing. In 2009, when I passed out my post-graduation, I had to go to Sikkim for my first job. But in my village, the people have their breakfast in the house, go to the college, complete their education, go to their house. The village has got a biotech industry. So how beautiful it is. So it's only possible in Kerala. So the Kerala villages are no more villages. They are wonderful cities where you can, do wonderful things. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. That's a very interesting perspective. We'll come back to this issue because I think this will be one of the themes. But let me ask Mr. Singh, who is representing Lividus Healthcare, what has been their experience at Lividus Healthcare about operating a high-tech business in Kerala?
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, sir, giving me opportunity to talk about business and pharmaceutical industry. I will little introduce my company. Lividus is a pharmaceutical company that manufacturing and marketing ethical medicines and all the dosage form, tablet, capsule, dry syrup, injections, ointment, liquid, nutraceutical. And honor is Mr. Firoj Bhai. He is from Kollam, Karunapalli. So, our first unit is in Sikkim. We have started 2017. After that, there was the discussion whether we have to go second unit Sikkim or any other North Indian state, any other state, because their infrastructure and so many things, main medicine hub is in north only, particularly Himachal Pradesh, Baddi. But our MD, Mr. Feroz, decided to start this plant from his own home state. And they have taken industry plot in Bioscience Park. 2014, we started project. Now we have completed one section, that is capsule section we are running, and we are manufacturing capsules. And complete full project will be completed in next year, April or March. There will be more than 200 people's job opportunity in this. I am from Delhi, a pharmacy graduate from Delhi, more than 25 years experience from pharma industry, Sun Pharma, Lupin, Madras Pharma. Now I am here more than 1 year, 1.5 years. After coming here, I have seen really Kerala is a wonderful place. And one thing I have seen here, education system is very good. Whatever student coming for interview, I am taking their interview, and college pass out, fresh B.Pharm graduate, they are such a highly talented. I am in such a position ki which candidate to be selected and which candidate to be rejected. And sometimes I feel very sad ki how can we say no to this candidate, such a talented candidate. And infrastructure wise, support wise, very good support from industry, Bioscience Park, and FDA, particularly our medicines, pharmaceutical industry depend on FDA licensing. And FDA is also supporting very well. They have given us license on time, and we have started production, even though our plant is not fully ready. This plant will be one of the US FDA, MHRA compliant plant, and this will be an expert-oriented plant all over the world. And it's a very fantastic place, and Mr. Feroz has taken a very good decision to start such a highly expensive plant in his own state.
Thank you. So, what's clearly emerging from this first round is that all the experience of all the entrepreneurs growing their knowledge-based high-tech businesses in Kerala, has one of the strong positives has been the ready availability locally of the talent which they need. And when I say locally, I also mean that is almost available in every district, this kind of thing. That is something very unique, very special about Kerala. So that's the good news. Now I just want to come, one more round we'll have before we open up for questions, is what are the negatives which you see here in terms of those areas where, I mean, if you, like somebody said, if you start listing out the positives and negatives of any place, you'll get a long list. So I was just thinking, what are those negatives which are probably holding the state back, and what in meaning, and especially with regard to utilizing the skilled people resources better in the state? What in your opinion can be done? Can we start with Mr. George of Caron? What can we do to see that the people resources can be better used in Kerala?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. What I feel that the main negative is many of the youngsters, I don't know, they got a negative feeling about starting industry and business. And many people are still looking that abroad in foreign countries there is a fortune waiting for them. And that is the biggest hazard. So I feel that we have to educate them, we have to give them enough opportunities, and this type of re-educating them. The very feeling that many of the youngsters got a strong feeling that after my studies, I should go abroad and get into some good job and I will be comfortable. But I felt that I have traveled in many of these countries, but I really felt that these people are not happy. Because if those who are having even 1/10 of the salary what they are getting abroad will be much more happy and comfortable here. So I feel that education, and not only education, and most of the education we have to restructure the education system also. So we should teach them what is required for the betterment of the society. So the education system has to be changed. There should be some drastic changes to be made. There are so many universities that are giving real talents to youngsters, but the total system has to be changed because they study even so many subjects, and I don't think that even 1% will be useful to them. So education system has to be rebuilt. They should be enhanced in a different way for the betterment of the enhancement of industry or betterment of the society. And then these people have to be re-educated. In the college itself, they should be taught that you have a good future here. You know that India is an emerging economy, and we are now growing. I hope that maybe within 10, 15, 20 years, we will be one of the maybe first or second world economy power in the globe. So we have to educate them. We need the support of the youngsters, the talent of the youngsters, and the fire of the youngsters for a better growth. And I hope that we have to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George. I think Mr. George has flagged one point here, which many of us have noticed, is that there is a big perception problem that there is a lack of opportunity here, and this is stoked by various media narratives which keep coming about young people all leaving the state, etc. Nobody makes any interstate comparisons to check what is happening across the. So there is a narrative issue here. But this is a very interesting thing that things have to be done in the education system, as Mr. George said. And a lot of what is being today included in the curriculum is probably useless. It's outdated, and it needs, it's a lot of waste of time. And it should be replaced with more contemporary, more relevant kind of knowledge. I remember when I went to Dr. Gopi's unit, recently I visited, and I was introduced by him to some of his team members, and they were young women who were all smartly dressed in lab tunics and all that. So I was, and then each of them was introduced saying, this is Dr. So-and-so with a PhD in biochemistry, this is Dr. So-and-so with a PhD. So I said, where did you do your PhDs? And they all laughingly told me, UC College, Alway, QSAT, Cochin. You know, I was expecting Stanford and MIT and all that to be said, and they were talking about local colleges. And so he told me 2, 3 things. So I just was wondering whether Dr. Sriraj could tell us about his experience in finding such amazing talent locally, very near his own village.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for pointing that point, which is very clear. We do have certainly very good talents at par with Stanford or MIT. Maybe we may not get the branding of Stanford or MIT, but we still feed majority of the US so-called branded companies from our quality. So it's very clear that we do have talents and we can compete with them. When you ask about the negative aspect of Kerala, I don't think it is a negative, but it is certainly an area which needs some kind of special attention. Obviously, when young entrepreneurs or startups comes to this space, they will have a shortage of funds for infrastructure creation. So more funds has to be dedicated for hiring talents and also for missionaries and infrastructure development rather than building space. So one area I think we had our discussions also, we may need more built-up spaces, ready to move built-up spaces for, at least for life science when I speak myself, because we face this issue and we are facing even today. When we grew from nothing to exporting to 40 countries, obviously we will have growing pains. When we dedicate our funds for creating, building the infrastructure, that is a huge challenge. Instead, we can also hire young talents that will create job creation, and also we can build up missionaries, R&D equipments, rather than building the walls. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gopi. Actually, he's raised a very interesting point about this built-up spaces being readily available. Because when I went to the plant and I was blown away by what I saw in terms of the very high-tech stuff which is going on and the high-quality people he had hired and what he had done in such an amazingly short time. I asked him in my capacity as chairman of the Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation, I felt the ball was now in my court. Now I have to offer him something. So I said, what can I do for you? He said, every 6 months, I may need another 50,000 square feet of built-up space. An empty shell is enough. If you can make that available for me, I'll take for the next 5 years, I'll take space every 6 months. I need this space readily available. So I thought, wow, he's being very clear. He knows exactly what he wants. And that is what we should be giving. Thank you for that. So, Dr. Manish, can you just actually, on this point about the, for MSMEs, when I say small, it's a relative term. It can be 10 crores, it can be 100 crores, it's still small from a technical perspective. But from an MSME perspective or a startup, what are the big issues? Because if, as we say, people resources, skilled people are available, and there is good communications, reasonably good transport infrastructure, etc. Do you also feel like Dr. Sriraj Gopi and Mr. George also, that one of the things which the administration here can do is make available infrastructure, ready-to-use infrastructure? Will that be a big help for a venture like yours?
Thank you, sir. So before I get into that specific question, I'll tell you two things. My experience, the talents and the opportunities. Opportunities are humongous in the villages. I'll tell you my village only. The people finish as a post-graduation, they get a job in the same village. So I don't think there is a lack of opportunities. Talents, absolutely great. When I talk about talents, I'm talking about the younger generation, not my age, but the people who are younger than me. So there is no doubt about it. I have no bad comments about it. And government policies, absolutely great. If I can start a company and make it survive for more than 10 years in a village, so I don't see anything wrong with the policies. I don't I didn't had any bad experience with the government policy. We are absolutely going well. We had a great support in the local panchayat and everything. There are no political issues and everything. Those eras are over. Kerala is doing much better now. So the people, even when I started in 2013, the company, many people had asked me, why do you start in Kerala? I said, I will do it only over here. If I can do it over here, I can do anywhere in the country because I am from Cleveland Clinic and CWRU. So I have seen people doing it over here. So why did I came back? The question was, during my, the students' life, we made 2 products, and my boss gave it to Merck and Santa Cruz, those 2 products. So, and I realized that an Indian citizen had to pay almost 200 times of the manufacturing. I said, this doesn't look nice. I have to go back. Let me do what I can do it over there. So that was the idea. Now coming to the, what we lack it over here, it is, I believe during my curriculum, the problem which I issued was when my company was kind of around 50 lakhs turnover, I was all right. But when you start crossing 1 crore, I found, it was very difficult to me because I doesn't know how to manage the cash because I was not taught. So if the student curriculum right now, even from a 10th standard or the after 6th standard onwards, if we can talk about something about the business, entrepreneurship, maybe a person of my age living in this era, might get the courage enough to start a, let us say, 100 crore turnover business. That's one point. The second point it is, which I want to see, the pupil's attitude. My fellow person who's sitting next to me, he said he told me he has an export to 40 countries. The same with us. More than 50% of our annual turnover is in export. I was just wondering, why is it happening? So that means we are doing so much of import over here. Why can't we buy the products which is made over here? I understand absolutely there could be mistakes because we are not like Thermo or some Johnson & Johnson because they have 100 years of history. Our history is only 10 years. But if you buy it, you use it, you say constructively, look, this particular product needs this improvements. We would be more than happy to do it. But if you don't buy it, we may not have a capital. How do we improve it? That's the second point. The people's attitude needs to be, I believe, once our generation is wiped off from this, maybe the next generation will do much better than. I am pretty particular about it, but I would like to see the changes in my lifetime. I would like to see the Keralas, the bigger companies, like Thermo. I don't need Thermo here. I need a Kerala own made Thermo over here to be, like the Penpol is made, because we get always fascinated with, we just wonder how could he make it? Because the courage enough. So I want every 10th standard graduate should do like Penpol. They should be at least imagine about it. Now, I had one more point to say, I forgot. So let me say, if I come across it, I will grab the mic from in between and tell you. So these are the points. And the infrastructure-wise, I'll tell you, my company, we started a new company, that's Strita Biotech Private Limited, which we made a product which has been licensed for 100 crores now. This product is made by people, as sir said, from a local colleges. I didn't get anybody from Harvard or Johns Hopkins or no. These products are made by people who have graduated from the colleges, only my job was to make them believe that you can do it, or rather we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Singh, as a professional from another part of India, from Delhi, and you worked in the pharmaceutical industry in established companies, etc., and then joined this venture and worked with them in Sikkim and then came to Kerala to set up. From your observation, what are the big differences which you noticed and which you regard as, say, the best, the strongest positive and any negative point of Kerala? Because I think both probably, we need to have a balance of both. So can you be frank as you want to be?
No problem, sir. Positive, I have already told. Very talented people. And all government officials, government staff or government organizations are supporting very well. We are getting license and everything easily, particularly FDA. But as a pharma industry, here pharma culture is very less. People are not about pharmaceutical industry. Whatever students are coming, there is a provision for B pharmacy student at final year or final semester of the degree, they have to take 1 month, 2 month industry training. It's mandatory. So in North India, whatever the college they are doing B Form, they are going for industry training. And within 2 month training, they learn so many things about pharma industry. But here students are coming, they don't have training. So they don't know anything about pharmaceutical industry. They are talented, theoretically they are very good, English, everything is very good, but they don't have training, so they don't know. No problem, we will teach them. But what as a pharma industry we are facing or we will face for some time, because here pharma industry is very less. So input, particularly raw material, packing material, and trained technical persons, it's very difficult to get here. And it's challenging because without trained person, pharmaceutical industry cannot run. So it will take time because what I will think government should support other pharma industry also. Yes, should come big pharma company, government provide facility and all that, so they should think they should not go that north only, yes, Sikkim, any other. Here also come because it's a very beautiful place. Everything is there. Only the industry should be more. When industry will be more, then raw material, packing material, everything will be available locally. Right now, we have to bring all the raw material, packing material from north only. It's very difficult, but somehow we are managing. There's no issue, and slowly it will be good.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. I think you've raised a very important point. Unlike the other three, you are in the pharmaceutical manufacturing sector, where it is true, Kerala doesn't have a significant presence. And that cluster effect will kick in only when there is a critical mass of manufacturing units, like you have in other clusters, like in parts of North India, Hyderabad, and Bangalore and other places.
Yes.
So that is one of the, it's admittedly a big thing so for the future growth of the pharmaceutical industry, we need to ensure a cluster kind of approach needs to be taken.
Yes, sir.
I think now that we have had two rounds of some interesting experiences and perceptions about doing business in Kerala being shared, we'll open up the discussion for questions from the House. So please raise your hands, those who wish to ask questions. Be crisp and short, and we will try to get the panelists to answer. So I see somebody standing up there. Please go ahead with your question.
I'm Padma Kumar from the Kerala Medical Technology Consortium. The question is actually addressed to all of you. Anybody can respond. I heard from the discussion that each of you has a company which makes high quality products. This is evident from your export business. One of the disappointing things for me personally has been that Indian companies have not distinguished themselves, especially in medical devices, by their quality. You all seem to be exceptions to the rule. Being in the industry, can you suggest how can we get the industry as a whole to become far more quality conscious?
Who would like to answer this? Mr. George,
please. What you said is correct, and many of the industries, quality is a very important factor for export, and for that some basic work has to be done. If it is a medical device, then we have to take US FDA and CE certifications. The CE we are having, that is at par with the European standards. So these certifications very much required, and not only the certification we have to keep into. What I want to say many times when we discuss about the quality, if some products are showing some failure in a foreign country, they never say that Caron or this company, that company. They say Indian company, the product was substandard. So you have to be very cautious when you export products. You should see that the quality has to be sustained, maintained for the sake of India, for giving the standard of India. So we have to be very careful. When we export, don't try to export products which is substandard. We have to export products which is at par with global standards. Otherwise, it is going to affect the reputation of India, because all these companies, few companies export products in foreign countries which is not going to be of standard, that affects the newcomers. Those who are having quality standards also go, oh, this from India. This happened many times. And many good companies also, they are not able to enter into certain areas because they feel, oh, these Indian companies, maybe the quality may not be to that standards. So we have to be very careful. We are not affecting the business of the individual company. We are affecting the reputation of the country. So be careful. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. George. Would anyone else like to add to that?
Yeah, I think very valid point. Quality certifications are all there. It's all already documented. But rigorous and continuous training of employees is very essential because that cost we don't see, and we most of the time people see that it is an unnecessary cost, but it's a very vital point for not especially for exports, because as he rightly mentioned, we classify as an Indian company, not being individual company name. So rigorous quality training has to be given for all set of employees who is working. So
thank you. Any other question? Yeah, please. Can somebody get a mic to?
I'm Suresh from Able. My question is to both Dr. Gopi and Dr. Manish. Both your companies are scaled up very, very fast, no? And you both have scientific background. How do you handle the compliances, even other professional help in terms of, this amazing scale up, because it involves a whole lot of processes which have to be foolproof, and that is where a lot of entrepreneurs stumble also. Or do you have the systems in place? How do you handle this part of it?
So, with my humble, I had a great difficulty, sir, because I didn't know this. Because when I started, that's why I said, up to a particular turnover, I was quite okay. It was going well. But after some time, when I start getting export orders, I had a tough time. That's what I said. If I would have been taught during my curriculum some of the, these factors, I would have, and I burned my fingers like anything. I believe like 240-feet containers was rejected in Dubai airport because of compliance issue. And I had a great loss. And having a loss of couple of crores of rupees in the beginning of your business was a real tough time. So I learned it in a very hard way. So, but we made a system. We had to make the people, train for that. And it was like right from the writing, from, the notebooks, documentation, everything, we learned it in a very hard way. So if we can bring all these things in our curriculum, maybe we should not have burned our feet, we would not have such a great loss. And as Sir said, like, when you have a quality issues, they don't talk about the company, they talk about the country. They say like, and to answer to Padma Kumar Sir's questions, like, I would say like things are changing, sir. I have seen people saying to me, we have, buyers from abroad, they say that they don't want Chinese product, they want an Indian product. I strongly believe as the day passes, things will change. We will also change towards the, the betterment. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, any more questions? Yes, please, go ahead.
So my name is Asmi. I'm a PG student. So we are a group of PG students with different biotech startup ideas. But we don't know exactly whom to connect. We are like, we don't have a brand institutional name and financially unstable. So we have attended lot of such sections, and individually, I know every one of you. I have been in all of your classes, but I don't know correctly how to approach for a correct sponsor, or how our ideas should be conveyed to get a startup or begin a startup. So can you help us with how your journey begin?
Would you, it'll be good if one of you could just answer. I think you understood the question. It's about, they're all students who are interested in getting into biomedical device manufacture, biotech, pharma, etc. They want to become entrepreneurs. How to get started, and any suggestions from your own experiences on this. So it'll be good if any one of you could just share your experience.
I think you are the right person to answer this question because you started an industry, Penpol, and it's very rare among any people that you left your IAs and started this industry, and so many years you struggled and you came to a level. So I hope that you are the right person to answer this question. Anyhow, I'll give it to my
Sing, please.
You are a student. I will suggest one thing, particularly life science. First, you go for industry. Get some experience, 5-6 year experience. After that, so many government policies are there for startups. Because if you go without experience, you don't have any other support, any person to support you, any person suggest you, and you will face difficult. So my suggestion, first you go for industry, take experience in which line you want to go, and after that, start. There are a lot of opportunity in life science, pharma, medical device. So many things are there. You can go.
Anybody in the panel would like a different opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing I believe, like, I'm so happy to answer to you. And the thing is that I'll tell you how did I start my business. I had an idea. I didn't have anything. So first thing is, I believe we have to do it, connect yourself rather than connecting to others. And believing in yourself, because I was married. I had 2 kids that time. So I used to work in a medical college as a professor. Then immediately after my classes, theory classes, I had taken the permission from the chairman that I will leave. Then I'll go to the lab, which is almost around 10-15 kilometers away. Then I make my product and I goes to ISA, all these institutes, and I stand in front of my fellow friends who was my postdoc colleagues, and for hours to make them to request to kindly use it. So I kept doing this. Initially my annual turnover was 8 lakhs. Then I had great ideas, but I didn't have money. So I was just thinking that I had my own way of looking at the market. I thought I will place the product which is already existing in the market so that it is easy to place it in the market. Then after a few years, once my turnover started increasing, I started taking one by my innovative ideas. So my approach was to make the business. Initially, I was trying to make it surviving. You know, it can go by itself. Then I slowly started. I took 10 years, almost 13 years to license a technology for 100 CR. So I don't want to discourage you. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in yourself. Keep doing it. There will be one day you will have a product. You can place it in your market. Go and approach to everybody. Can you please use it? Kindly use it and give me your suggestions. Then you can improve it. That's the way I started my journey. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we'll, Dr. Gopi, please.
So my story is a little different. I started my office in a car, which I used to have, because renting an office was a very expensive affair at that time. And obviously, as I mentioned to you, I had my academic backgrounds. So I was into several multinational companies as a scientific advisor and started pitching in my ideas. So then what happened is that they said, idea is very good. but we need products. Either you come here and work for us in the States. So I was not ready to move into somewhere and be in that country. So I said instead I can develop the product in-house from India, maybe rather that would be a cheap thing for you. And that's how I started. So at that time we didn't have, so what I want to convey you is that being bootstrapped is very essential as a startup. And second thing, engage with the local resources. When I meant local resources, it could be even your car. That's the best example. You need not run an office and spend so much money for that particular office. And find out the correct resources near to your university or academy. And then there are so many contract manufacturers. The idea cannot be contracted. The innovation cannot be contracted. But certainly equipment you can rent. You cannot rent innovation. So maybe find out the key innovation and that will take you everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we'll have to now, I've just been informed that we have come to the end of our allotted time. I just wanted to sum up by answering this last question which was asked, I think which sort of sums up everything. How do you get a startup going? And my fellow panelists here have given their own versions of that, the answer to that. But so I will just sum up like this. As was just now mentioned, one of the things is to use the local ecosystem. And every ecosystem will have elements there which you can use. Don't believe that you have to go to some place where it's formally written incubator or accelerator outside. Every college is an incubator, every research lab is an accelerator. It all depends on how you see it. 40 years ago when I started my venture to make blood bags, we used every engineering college which was available locally. Initially, I remember graduate engineers would not come for jobs in my company because we were paying too low. So because we could not get graduate engineers, we went for diploma engineers from Polytechnic, and we discovered they're very good. In fact, after that, we changed our recruitment policy and we started recruiting diploma engineers. So we keep learning things from all this. So the first thing is to use the local resources and to bootstrap. I think the experience of everyone is that. So don't imagine that the incubator will be something which will be a beautiful place, space, air conditioned, etc. Because I don't know how many years it was before we moved into an air conditioned office. It took many years. So that's one. Second thing is, and I'll end with that, is your intention must be right, Your intention, in terms of the quality. There must be certain things on which there must be no compromise, which are non-negotiable. Made in India, even today, is not a respected brand. Let's face the fact. Made in India, if it is there on any product, it's not a respected brand. So in fact, if you write made in India, you will have to prove many more things than you will have to prove if it was written made in Japan or made in Germany or made in some other country. So, we faced that difficulty in the beginning when we were exporting our first consignment of blood bags many years ago in the mid-1990s. I remember a buyer in Hamburg told us this problem, said that we cannot put made in India. But we said the Drugs Control Act says that we have to state the manufacturing. Then we found out from the drugs controller that there was a facility to give a code number where the country of origin that requirement would be met by putting the code number. But you can put so it was made to a third party label. So I still remember we started out by exporting our products, disguising the fact that it was made in India, because made in India. Our quality was good enough for export, but the moment you put made in India, you never got a business at that time. Now what I am so proud about is we've come such a long way that the Terumo Penpal blood bags Terbo Penpal factory is the biggest exporter of blood bags in the world. And they put very proudly there, made in India. And it goes to 58 countries across the world. So it shows that, and that factory is just, hardly 15 minutes, 20 minutes drive from here. In a rural area, surrounded by coconut trees and mango trees and all that. So it's in a very rural area. So it shows it can be done. So thank you all for being a great audience. I would like to thank my panelists, and I hope that we've been able to deal with what was to me a very interesting subject, very interesting theme, and I believe very relevant to the theme of Bioconnect. Thank you all.
Thank you. I would request all of you to kindly stay back for a few minutes for the memento presentation. Requesting Shri C. Balagopal, Chairman KSIDC, who was the moderator of this session, to kindly present the mementos to our panelists. Calling upon Dr. James George, Chairman Carrion Healthcare Solutions, to receive the memento. May I now call upon Dr. Sriraj Gopi, co-founder, Molecules Biolabs Private Limited, to receive the memento. Calling upon Dr. Manish Myrankot, CEO, Trita Biotech Private Limited, to receive the memento from our moderator, Shri C. Balagopal, Chairman, KSIDC. May I now call upon Mr. Mangal Singh, General Manager, Libidus Healthcare Private Limited, to receive the memento. Thank you, panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now invite Dr. Villu Morawala Patel, founder and CMD of Avastagan Limited, to kindly come over to the dais to present a memento to our moderator for the session, Shri C. Balagopal. Presenting the memento is Dr. Villu Morawala Patel, founder and CMD, Avastagan Limited. Thank you. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, moderator. And thank you, Dr. Villu Morawala Patel.